Okay, in this tutorial we will be going over the following commands. We're going to be going over polar array, we're going to be going over rectangular array, and we are also be going over the offset command as well. Now, you guys are going to be opening up your next assignment in your workspace and saving it as assignment 5. So, this is how you are going to be using the array commands. Alright, the first one that we're going to be going over, we'll do the rectangular array. And basically what this does is it allows you to do basically a lot of different polygons in one shot. So if I have just one, let's say, half-inch square, I can make a whole row and a bunch of columns of them just by doing this one array command. And I'm going to show you how to do it right now. Alright, so for the first thing that we want to do is make our rectangle. Alright, so this is how you're going to do it. Alright, all you have to do is click the rectangle, and I'm just going to do a random spot on my screen, and I will make it a half an inch. Okay, at that point, 5, 1.5. Okay, so now I have my half-inch square. The next thing that I want to do is click the array command. Alright, make sure that it is on rectangular array instead of the polar array. Alright, it's not going to work with the polar, so I have it on my rectangular array. The next thing I want to do is read the command line. The command line says select object. So all I have to do is click on the square and press enter, and the next thing you know, it actually does an array for you. This might not be the exact array that you're looking for, but that's why they have this little column up here. Alright, all these different settings that you guys can switch around to make it exactly the way that you want it. So it has columns right here. These squares going vertically, these are what are known as columns. Alright, there's 4 columns here and there's 4 columns over here. So if I wanted to say that I wanted to have 6 columns, all I have to do is just switch that number and then click somewhere else on the screen, and you'll notice that 6 columns come up. The same thing goes for the rows as well. If I want to make 5 rows instead of 3, all I have to do is switch it to 5, click anywhere else on the screen, and then they will appear. Underneath the actual columns and rows, you're going to have the spacing in between the individual squares themselves. If I want to switch them to, let's say, instead of being 3/4 of an inch away from each other, I can make them 1 inch away from each other, and that would be just for the columns. If I want to do the same thing for the rows, all right, and let's say that I don't want to have them at 1 inch, I'll have them at 0.5 instead. Alright, so you guys can basically mess around with this, and you can see that it can come in handy in certain instances. Alright, so that would be the rectangular array. Now I'm going to just I'm going to press escape to end that command. I'm going to remove this by just highlighting everything and pressing delete. The next command that I'm going to be going over is the polar array. Before you click the polar array, I'll just put it into the setting, press escape. I have to set up a circle and a line. So here is an example of an array. Alright, so I have my array circle, and now if I wanted to do a line, let's say, it says, let me just make a line out here. Now I'm going to hit the polar array. It says select object that I want to array. In this case, I want to array this line right here. Press enter. It says specify center point. This would be the center point. This is what the line's going to be rotating around. Once again, the array command automatically has some preset lines and rows. Alright, so if you go up here, once again, instead of having 6 items, let's say that I want to have 15 items. And that's how it's going to change it. Alright, for the most part, you guys can mess around with the distances in between, but that's pretty much how you use the array. Now let me see if I just want to do just a line. Now I want to do the array. select my object, press enter. This will be it. So you don't have to have the circle, but you can just do the array as long as it is a line. Alright, now let's try it with a circle. And let's put a line right here. Array. This will be my base point. Okay, the next thing that we're going to be going over is your offset command. So all I'm going to do is take a rectangle. It doesn't have to be a rectangle. It can be a line. It can be a circle. It doesn't matter. But I'll use the rectangle as an example. So this is my offset command. Let's say that I want to do another rectangle on the inside. All right. So the first thing it's asking is specify distance. All right. The distance that I want to choose is 0.5. Now it says select object that I want to offset. This is my object that I want to offset. Now you're going to see if I take my cursor and I go on the outside of the rectangle, it'll go a half an inch outside of it. If I go on the inside, it'll go half inch on the inside of it. So it depends on where you click is going to be where it's going to set up. So I'll click on the inside. All right, now let's say that I want to do it again. All I have to do is press enter. Press enter again. Click the command, click on the outside, and that's how you use the offset command. Now let's say that I just want to do a circle. Offset, I'll do my distance, instead of it being 0.5, I'll do 0.25. Click the object, click on the inside, click on the inside, click on the inside. You can do it over and over and over again. Okay. For your assignment, you are going to do this right over here. You are going to have to just take this drawing and figure out how to make this. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to come back to this tutorial, you're going to pause this screen, you're going to take a look at what I have, and you're going to try your best to recreate it based off the handout that I just gave you. All you're getting is the beginning square, you're getting the different circles, and you're going to have to do the rest by figuring out what you have to do. So this is going to be your rectangular array, your polar array, and your two offsets using the circle or the rectangle. Alright, this should give you pretty good practice to learning these commands, and even when you're done, if you get done early, I want you to continue practicing. After you're done, you're going to save it as assignment.